Here's your daily news roundup from 97.9 WGBW.
From the 97.9 WGBW newsroom, I'm Connie Fellman with this local news update. Governor Tony Evers made a stop in Green Bay yesterday to celebrate the launch of Wisconsin's new film office and film tax credit. The goal is to bring new creative endeavors to the state, boosting the travel and tourism economy and strengthening Wisconsin's film industry. Evers toured the LiveX production studio in Green Bay after visiting a Milwaukee film studio in the morning. Film Wisconsin is set to administer $5 million in film tax credits each year. The credits will be used to employ local workers, book local lodging, and purchase local goods and services to help local and state economies. A Menasha man will serve 7 years in prison for setting a fire outside Congressman Glenn Grothman's office in Fond du Lac. Police say 20-year-old Caden Stakowitz told them he did it because he was angry over Grothman's vote on a TikTok bill last year. Stakowitz pleaded no contest to arson and other charges were dropped. His lawyer says the act was tied to a mental health crisis. Yesterday's beautiful day shattered warm weather records across northeast Wisconsin, with Appleton hitting the highest mark at 72 degrees and sunny. But winter will be back before we know it, with a wintry mix moving in already tonight and significant snow accumulation expected this weekend, according to local forecasters. We'll have the full forecast coming up in weather. An O'Connell Falls man faces up to 50 years behind bars after a jury found him guilty of homicide by the intoxicated use of a vehicle in a crash that killed a motorcyclist in 2022. The jury delivered the verdict last Friday after a 4-day trial in Oconto County. 59-year-old Thomas Wolf was also convicted of a third offense, OWI. Oconto County Sheriff's deputies say Wolf was traveling south on County I when he rear-ended a motorcycle near an intersection in the town of Stiles around 8:40 p.m. The impact threw 61-year-old Bart Erdman of Oconto Falls off the motorcycle and sent the motorcycle into a ditch. According to the accident report, Erdman died at the scene. Wolf's sentencing hearing has not yet been scheduled. The Packers have announced the details for Bob Harlan's funeral arrangements. The legendary leader of the pack will be laid to rest on Monday, March 16th. St. Francis Xavier Cathedral in Green Bay will host a visitation starting at 11 a.m., followed by a mass of Christian burial at 2 p.m. Harlan's family has invited the public to a celebration of life and legacy in the Lambeau Field atrium following the funeral service for fans who wish to pay their respects. Harlan's family members and others will make brief remarks at 4 p.m. Harlan's obituary with additional details is posted on Ryan Funeral Home's website. The former Green Bay Packers president and CEO passed away last Thursday at the age of 89. With news at the top and bottom of the hour all day and on demand anytime at WGBW.FM, I'm Connie Fellman, 97.9 WGBW News.
For Civic Media News, I'm Lisa Hale. The average price for a gallon of gas in Wisconsin jumped almost a quarter in the past week. Prices are now averaging $2.76 a gallon, according to Gas Buddy. That's 23.2 cents higher than last week and 26.5 cents higher than a month ago. Meanwhile, the national price of gas rose 5.6 cents to $2.94 a gallon. Gas Buddy's head of petroleum analysis, Patrick DeHaan, said markets will begin reacting to this weekend's U.S.-Iran attacks, which may cause immediate supply disruptions along with elevated geopolitical risk premiums. He predicts the national price of a gallon of gas will rise above the $3 mark for the first time this year. According to the Wisconsin Examiner, 3 more Wisconsin sheriffs from Dunn, Green Lake, and Walworth counties have signed deals to help ICE enforce immigration laws. This brings the total to 19 of 72 counties working with federal agents through the 287G program. Immigrant rights groups warn that the program scares people from reporting crimes and pulls local cops away from community needs. A bill proposing roadside drug testing in Wisconsin is sparking a debate over public safety. The proposal would allow law enforcement officers to use roadside oral fluid testing in suspected drug-impaired driving cases. Dane County Sheriff Calvin Barrett said deputies are encountering more cases involving drugs, including prescription medications, in addition to alcohol. Meanwhile, Milwaukee defense attorney Andrew Mishlove says expanding roadside testing raises constitutional questions because bodily samples are considered searches. The proposal is still in the early stages of the legislative process. Farmers prepping to spread manure should check the runoff risk. Civic Media's James Kelly reports.
With warmer weather on the horizon, the Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection is reminding farmers to check the runoff risk advisory forecast before spreading manure on their fields. According to a press release, the tool is meant to help farmers and anyone else applying manure to their fields with up-to-date information on weather and soil conditions to reduce the risk of manure runoff ending up in nearby waterways. It's updated multiple times each day and covers the state in roughly 1.5 square mile grids. A report released by the Alliance for the Great Lakes last year found that 90% of the nitrate contamination in the state is caused by agricultural runoff with things like manure, fertilizers, and other bio-waste. Nitrate exposure is linked to a number of negative health concerns, including cancer, and can contribute to toxic algae blooms in waterways. Residents can access the Runoff Risk Advisory forecast at runoffriskadvisory.wi.gov. For Civic Media News, I'm James Kelly.
High school juniors interested in learning more about agriculture in the Badger State now have a new opportunity. The Wisconsin Department of Agriculture is taking applications for its Youth Council through March 31st. The group meets monthly during the school year to speak with ag leaders, explore careers, and share ideas. 15 students will be selected from across the state. Interested students can apply online at agyouthcouncil.wi.gov. Wisconsin goes up a notch on a list ranking the state and local tax burden for residents. Wisconsin now ranks 34th in the nation, up one spot from last year's ranking of 35th. A new report from the Wisconsin Policy Forum says taxes took up about 9.8% of personal income. That's a little less than the year before. The report also shows that the state's tax share is still about a percentage point below the national average. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources has released a Wisconsin food waste evaluation report. Civic Media's Melissa Kay breaks it down for us.
It includes recommendations to reduce food waste going to landfills as part of a statewide goal to reduce per capita food waste disposal in landfills by 50% by 2030, compared to 2020 levels. Key findings of the report show that 88% of food waste going to Wisconsin landfills is from residential and food service sources, with residential contributing the largest share at 47%. Infrastructure for hauling food waste to destinations other than landfills will have to expand significantly to achieve the statewide food waste reduction goal. Of the 286 facilities licensed for composting in Wisconsin, just 30, or 10%, are approved to accept food waste. You can find more information on the DNR website. I'm Melissa Kay.
Getting your degree in 3 years could be a possibility in the UW system. The Board of Regents considered revisions to a policy last week that would allow campuses to create bachelor's degrees that can be completed in 3 years. These degrees would typically require 90 credits instead of the standard 120 credits. These 3-year programs are on the rise nationwide. The State Journal reports that the Board of Regents will vote on the policy at a future meeting. Only one 4-year university in Wisconsin currently offers a reduced credit degree program. For Civic Media News, I'm Lisa Hale. For news anytime, visit our website at civicmedia.us.
The Bucks at home tonight. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. NBA, the Bucks in need of a win host the Phoenix Suns. I asked Giannis what's the most important thing they must do to get off to a good start tonight.
Move the ball, get good shots, just keep that good rhythm, good energy in the first 6 minutes. And defensively, don't trade basket, no easy one, no easy looks. Like, we don't get easy looks offensively, so don't give them no easy looks either.
College hoops, the Wisconsin Badgers head to Chicago for the Big Ten tournament. They'll play on Thursday. The Badgers now ranked 23rd in the nation after beating number 15th ranked Purdue over the weekend. NFL free agency, Packers linebacker Quay Walker headed to Las Vegas to sign a 3-year contract with the Raiders, $40 million, $28 million guaranteed. He talked to us after the Packers were one and done in the playoffs against the Bears.
We didn't execute, and that's been a problem for us. Honestly, just finishing game, putting guys away. Even before I got here, I feel like that's always been a part of this organization.
That's Quay Walker with Sports on Mike Clemens.
It is going to be mostly cloudy with a chance of rain by later this afternoon. Our high today, 42. Tonight, rain will mix with and change to freezing rain, even a little snow, with temperatures dropping into the low 30s. Tomorrow, a little more light snow. We could end up with a half inch to an inch by the time it's done. High tomorrow, 38. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable.
That's your Green Bay News Roundup from 97.9 WGBW. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And find more news anytime at WGBW.FM.